Now take your fucking red fucking flashlight and shove it in your fucking ass. And tell me again why you want to be a medical doctor physician. And smoke a goddamn fucking fire fucking breathing cigarette into your fucking lungs and tell me again and again why you want to be a doctor no different than Patch Adams, who is as smart as Robin Williams and more brilliant than Joe Rogan. And his YouTube channel, he wouldn't let me speak about what I can describe on Dinosaur Brain and Heart in silence. Why humans would watch me suffer and cause me suffering, keep me alive, and then say to me I can't do no harm. I have to cure a cancer caused by what they told me I couldn't cure in an object I speak about, on an object they dominate in outer space in silence. And most importantly, why humans have decided and chosen an evil worse than suffering and war. Instead of doing what I'm doing now in silence. And saying to the bullies, what they do to me in silence. And then you will have a thought in the rain. Not from hypothermia and some holes in my object they dominate. You'll have a PhD for 15 minutes in silence. "15 minutes longer for over 3 years before coronavirus pandemic. And not stare at Milo no different than I stared at Milo for almost 4 years in silence. And not shake, dance, and rock and roll with the dead bones of silence. And not consider and explain the awesomers were not what Mary Johns had on her wall with the 1,000 Elvis plaques she had collected, recovering from gunshot wounds in her stomach and a cancer in her throat from smoking cigarettes, hiding from her ex-husband, who had hunted her no different than humans had hunted and have hunted I in silence. Now turn on your flashlight, play with your red light, and have a thought in the fucking rain for 15 fucking minutes and tell me again why you want to be a fucking doctor instead of choosing euthanasia in silence. And then look over at Dr. Manuel Ferreira Jr. and tell me one final time why I am a doctor and you are a doctor in silence. And not Philip Seymour Hoffman and all of the other geniuses who are brilliant, who have a beautiful mind, in silence. And you too will have a memory of who taught you about a dinosaur who has a brain and a heart in silence. For as much time as my watch has for these last remaining 8 minutes or 7.5 or so in silence, and I'll have my 20 years back before I spent these almost 4 years describing a dinosaur with a brain and a purple heart in silence. And not say what I said to more children than I can count about what I was going to achieve after I was done with my doctorate. I had already earned with their psychotherapist mother. Who I sent so many emails to about her husband, who was married to the grandfather's daughter of the uncle who passed away during these last 4 years in silence. And then one night Nola asked me, why do you smile at the rain and not have a thought in the rain? And I said, well, Nola, because you're always trying to take my language with your mathematics. You dominate in silence. She's, oh, you never make any sense anyway. And I know I said, I'm always spending it at Nutty Squirrel. When you're staring at me in silence. And she said, well, shut up and put these headphones on. I said, well, what are you talking about? And she said, this is my fight song. She said, oh yeah, this is my fight song. And I said, oh, this is my fight song. She said, yeah, this is my fight song. I said, no, wake me up when it's over. And she said, no, this is my fight song. I said, no, wake me up. She said, no, wake me up when it's over. And I said, no, wake me up. She said, no, why? And I said, well, no, this is my fight song. And she said, well, wake me up. I said, I don't know. And she said, oh, go make momos. I said, oh, Oliver, why is this my fight song? He said, wake me up. I said, wake me up when it's over. And he said, this is my fight song. And I said, oh. And then I drank a Coca-Cola in silence. And we sat there and we made a song for 2 minutes, and I said to their parents, why don't you give me a reference? And they said, because we've already caused too many problems. I said, what do you mean? I'm just talking. And they said, well, this is my fight song. And I looked over, and then I said to their dad, and he said, wake me up. I said, oh, wake me up when it's over. And then we all sang, this is my fight song. In silence. I said, Oliver, no, why don't you go play the White Stripes? They said, well, why don't you go ride the Lightning? And I said, well, I already rode the Lightning. And they said, well, you gotta ride the Lightning. And I said, no, I gotta go home. And I sat up the next day. I said, oh my gosh, it's almost time to take you guys to school. And they said, where'd you go? And why do you have stitches on your eye? And I said, oh. Well, I don't know. Why'd you say that? And they said, well, because you said you were talking for 15 minutes and now there's only 14 minutes. And I said, well, yeah, because I'm doing no harm.